Welcome back to opinionsarethree.com. It's a site where you can post your opinion on one of many topics, including the one we're going to talk about today. And I really don't care what your opinion is. I just ask that you follow the rules of conduct regarding posting your opinion, and you don't post links to other people's opinions or articles because I want to know what you think about any particular topic or this particular topic. Today, I want to ask you a question. Does trauma cause the conflict, or is the conflict the cause of the trauma, or is it a combination of two? So let me give you an example. If we look at the situation in the Middle East with Israel and Gaza and the neighbors, in 1948, Israel came to become a nation. Let's not discuss the history leading up to that point. The fact is that in 1948, it was established as a nation, and almost immediately, its neighbors wanted to annihilate it and push everyone back out of that land. Now, Israel, the people had just started to migrate back from different parts of the world, and in Europe, as you know, during the Nazi occupation, the Nazis were responsible for the extermination of around 6 million Jews. Now, listen to the word extermination rather than killing or murdering. You can use all these three words. It all leads to the same event. Someone is dead. But when you use the word extermination, it shows a clear mindset towards a specific action, the same way you would exterminate a creature rather than kill a creature. So 6 million, and then when the Jews were able to go to the land that became Israel, they said never again. But understand that there was a serious trauma at work here, regardless of whether you were part of the European diaspora or whether you were somewhere else in that on this planet of ours. If you were a Jew, you suffered trauma knowing that so many of your country people were murdered, exterminated, killed, however you want to call it, by that particular regime. So, 1948, the country's established, and almost immediately, some of the Arab states around it wanted to annihilate it and attack it. Now, that seems like it was almost a continuation of the Nazi policy, and I can expect that many people probably thought it was just a continuation of that other policy. So the entire generation, up to now, in fact, has had to live with that trauma and is passing that thought of that trauma down to their kids and their grandkids. So it's part of their nature to feel defensive, I expect, just as other groups on this planet feel trauma at what was done to their ancestors in the past. All right. Now, fast forward, there's a terrible attack by Hamas on the Israeli people, and that again stirred up the same trauma that they were feeling, and they probably have never stopped feeling. And their reaction can almost be considered by many people as an overreaction. That is to say, the reaction, overreaction of Israel, the forces going back into Gaza and pretty well flattening the place and causing so much death and destruction. And there are many people who might be considered as innocents, and you can split that here any way you want to. The point is they can be considered as innocents, and they've suffered greatly because of this reaction or overreaction or response, and the area seems to be inflaming even more because of, again, other nations will go in. So the people of Gaza now are also living with the trauma of what happened to them. When a grandfather sees a son or daughter or grandchild die, or vice versa, we see that trauma is spread across, up to 3 or sometimes even 4 generations. And how long does it take for that trauma to diffuse out of somebody's system, out of somebody's culture? And it seems like it's not really diffusing. If anything, it's becoming more intense. Israel has a policy now. It's called the Samson alternative, or the Samson option, if you want to call it that, where if they feel that there is no other way to avoid it, they will use their nuclear device to prevent from being overrun and destroyed as a nation. And I can't see China or the USA or Russia or India or Britain or whoever else has the bomb doing anything different. All right? Call it what you want. So how long does it take for this trauma to leach out of a society or of a culture or of a group? And will we ever be able to find a peaceful solution to these issues if the trauma is, first of all, if it still exists, and also if the trauma itself is prevented from leaving by individuals or groups that feel that the trauma is part of their existence and want it to continue. Okay, so give me your opinion on this topic. Is trauma the cause or the effect of conflict? And how do we diffuse systemic or cultural trauma in order to be able to find a peaceful solution to a problem? Opinionsarefree.com. Please leave your opinion on this or any other topic. I don't need to know exactly who you are. We respect your privacy, but if you want to give me your first name and the last initial and the geographic area you're located in, it would help me map, who has what kind of opinion. Anyways, opinionsarefree.com. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you have a really good 2025. Thank you.